Okay guys, here's something I'm just lucky to catch a hold of. Just came back into the game and we've got a challenge match going on, and it's 9 ball, played in hard times on the deep pockets table. It'll be championship, or sorry, tournament settings, and it's between two old timers from Virtual Pool 3. We've got Albinario from Sweden, and we've got Mal255 from England. And you're probably looking at two of the best players in Virtual Pool, and they don't often get together. And this is a race to 7, and we should see some well, we should see the standard of play you'd expect to see in real life normally. You know, breaking and running balls, good positional play, good tactical play. But Virtual Pool 4 is a lot easier than real life, so you're going to tend to see them go for shots you wouldn't normally go for in real life, rather than playing as many good safeties. And I think he can still see enough of this too to pot it and just run around the angles for the 3. He might want to run right round. Is that the 3 or the 5? I think it's the 3 in the middle of the table. Yeah, the 5's next to the blue. And we've got 4 in the top right hand corner. So Mal already leads by 2 racks to 0. And Albinario will be looking to run out here. And there doesn't seem to be a problem so far. Now he's got a slight angle on the 5, so he'd probably go round the corner here off the side rail, end rail, and round. And he needs an angle on the 7, which he's got, but he's got slightly too much of an angle for comfort. But he'll just be able to drop this in and get himself round behind that 8 and leave it fairly straight, and probably, well, he could either stun this in or just roll through and leave the 9 into the left middle. I think the angle's there to stun it in. He could risk the in off though, but he's taking a simple option again. Remember, that's what we say: if there's a simple shot to play, then play it. Don't go for anything spectacular. And so Albinario gets his first rack on the board. In fact, I'm surprised Mal's in here tonight. Maybe he's done all of his pre-election work. We've got a UK election tomorrow, and this is the Wednesday night before it. So Albinario would have had a dry break there. That's left Mal in, and that 6-9 looks as if it could be made as a combo if he got behind it, but if he doesn't, he's going to have to certainly move the 6 one way or another. This wouldn't be a good time to do it and try to get onto the 3, so sorry, the 4. And he's away short there, but he's got a fairly straightforward bank, and he'll be on the 5. Well, I thought the bank would have been easier. He went for the cut. Now, this is interesting. There is a possible chance here. I don't know whether the angle's that good, but Albinario is just looking at the 5. But he could, in theory, try and split this 6-9 here and still be on the 5. He'd be very unlucky if he wasn't, but, well, it'll be a good shot to move this 6 now. And he's got it, and it's fell into the open. And this will be another good shot to pot this 6 and get enough pace in the cue ball to get the cue ball up and around the far end of the table and back up for a cut on this 7. And again, remember what I keep saying in the videos as well, you start banging the balls in and forcing them, you've got to be really accurate in virtual pool 4, because you will pay the price heavily. And so Mal has a chance here to go into a 3-rack-to-1 lead here, and this is I would say this is effectively the game ball. He's got a nice little cut on the 6, maybe he's been called away. And he's having a wee bit of problem there. And he needs to watch his clock, because his extension has run out, or he's on his extension. He's only got 2 seconds left to shoot. And I was going to tell him to pass it back, but Albie, in case he wasn't sure of what the situation, because he said he was back, so he's probably just caught it. Mal seems to be having problems. And we've got a disconnect. So clearly Mal's was losing his connection. And that was a quick joint. He's came back in, but it doesn't look to be that he's got any joy here, I think. I don't know whether Albinario's end is telling him that he's back yet. Right, so he's passed the turn back, and now he seems to be okay. And this is good enough pace. And again, this has to be put in with a wee bit of power to get that cue ball out to leave a comfortable angle on the 8 ball, which he's done. And so Mal finishes off the rack. And he leads by 3-racks-to-1, and Mal breaking. Gets a ball in the break. I think he's going to have probably a push out. Can you see a thin edge of that one? Is he going to try a bit of English to cut it in? No, he's pushing it. Probably just roll the... Well, I think he could have made it a wee bit more inviting for Albie there. And knowing Albie, he's looking at the bank. And is he going to roll the 7 onto the 1? Hopefully my voice will hold out. Yeah, that's a foul by the looks of it. Or did he get it? That was a great shot. I thought he hit that 7 in the way, and it was so quick. And my eyes are going anyway, so forget that. Excuse me, and I'll have a quick cough. Right, I think we're back on track. Now, I'm going to try and just bank this 2 ball and tuck the cue ball up with that 3 and 9. That looks good. And the other thing to remember is that the butt angle has gone from the game, the online game. So if you're going to try a jump shot, you've got to use your judgment now rather than going by the helper that we had in the game. But he's certainly not going to jump that because it's probably a lot easier to kick it. Yeah, I thought he was taking too much there. And again, a lot of that's probably down to the fact that Albinario doesn't get to play an awful lot of Virtual Pool 4. Now, he might play it offline, but he certainly doesn't get to play online as much. And he's probably tied up working. And this has gone too straight. It's dead straight, so he's going to need a lot of bottom and a lot of bottom right English. Well, that would have been a way to get the cue ball up the table. He probably could have collided with that 8 and 6 here trying that, so he's went for the long cut and he gets it. And this looks fairly simple. Just needs to leave an angle on the 7 again, get the cue ball onto the rail, and he's got a nice angle to just come off the end rail and out for the 8. And again a slight angle, so he can either roll it in dead weight or just run through to the rail and out, which is a simpler way of doing it. And Mal goes into a 4 racks to 1 lead. Now, I would suggest straight away that this match, I would expect it to have a lot more in it, because Albinario is now at a stage where he's trailing, and this is where I would expect him to play at his best. That's if he gets a shot though. Mal gets another ball in the break, he's on the 1, he's drifted down for the 3, and here's the problem shot. There's a fair bit of traffic in the way here, and this will be a good shot, and he's played that very nicely indeed. And that's pretty nigh perfect. He's on the rail, he's got the slight angle, and he can just draw the cue ball out for that 5. And this is all about pace. And 6 balls out in the open, and he's going to have to ride his luck here. Oh, that was a bit jammy. He got the kiss, but he still finished nicely on the 6. And again, he's left a nice angle on the 7. That's a wee bit short of pace. He could have done with another foot of running in that to make it more comfortable. And just tuck that 9 down the rail. And that's a run out there from Mal, and he leads by 5 racks to 1. And this is a problem at this level, because both these guys are well capable of running racks, and just like the professional game, you get that ball in the break and you get a shot in the first ball, then the odds are fairly high that they're going to run out. But that time Mal's came up dry, but nothing really on there for Albinario but a push out, and I would suggest that's not the best of push outs I've ever seen, because that 1 ball cuts, and it's just an open invitation there to Mal. But having said that, he focused everything on the 1 ball, and the pace that was on the cue ball, he was bound to be hooked, and he scratched as well. So now we're going to see what Albi can do. And the first problem here is just getting comfortable on this 2 ball to get a shot to the 3. He might actually just leave this 3 and that narrow angle into the right middle. Let's see what he does. Anybody's guess. He could try and come round behind it and take the 3 into the same pocket, which I think he's doing. Yeah. And again, the angle he has on the 3 is going to take the cue ball. If he puts enough English on it, it's going to take it up the table, and he's going to be behind the 4 the other way round, trying to pass this 7. So unless he can check it and actually come over towards the middle pocket in the right, that's where he'll have a shot on the 4 into the top right pocket. Let's see what he does. Well, again, to me that was a wrong choice of shot, because I'm pretty certain he went for a combo in the 9 there, and that was not only a tough shot, but you know, it certainly it got him on the 4 ball, but I don't think that was the right way to play it. So, oh, Mal gets a wee bit of fortune there, and unfortunately gets a kiss and sinks the 3 in the middle. Has he still got a shot in that 4? I don't think so. He might try the crossbank though. No, he's just going for safety. Needs to slow up a bit though. Well, it's still leaving an awkward shot in the 5, but again just a natural angle. Run off the side rail, nice weight to get the cue ball in a sort of parallel line to the 8 ball if he can. And that's about right enough. I would say that's parallel to the 8. And wrong angle in the 6, but he can follow through with a bit of right hand English just to check the cue ball back towards the 7, or he can run around. He's got plenty of room to manoeuvre the cue ball. He's chosen the run around. And again, a simple shot. Run the 8 down the rail, cue ball off the side rail out into the middle of the table for a straight 8 ball. And that, I'm going to give that to Albinario right now. Again, he's just stopped it and left to cut, so it's now Mal leading by 5 racks to 2, and again with Albi on the break, if he gets a ball we might have a match in our hands. And a couple of balls went in. That the wing ball I think flew in at 100 miles an hour. And even if he gets this 1 ball, it's going to be really tough to have any shot whatsoever on that too. The 4 balls guarding that top left hand pocket, and he's really going to have to force the 1 ball in, and he can't really see that much of the cue ball itself because he's very close to the rail, so he's got his choices to make here. But you notice as well, he's using his shot clock, which a lot of players don't. They think it's a race against the shot clock. Take your time, think about your shot. So now, I don't think that's a very good position to bank the 2. I don't know whether he can see it fully. Well, that was really tough trying to cut that in at that angle. That had to be so precise. Again, another shot where it's all about pace, and he didn't want the collision on the 7. Now, does he have any safety in mind, or is he going to try and cross bank this behind him, behind where his cue ball is? Well, he's went for it into the middle, and he's got the kiss off the jaw, and it rolls down into the top right. How lucky is that? And he's got the cheek to apologise for it as well. But anyway, they all count in 9-ball, and Mal just strokes the 9 in and goes into a 6 racks to 2 lead. He's on the hill, and he gets another ball in the break. The 8-ball's going to drop as well. He's even got a shot on the 1. It's going to squeeze in past that 5-ball, if that is the 5-ball down there. And I would think that this match is going to be over fairly quickly, looking at the way these balls are set up. A perfect angle on this 4. Just draw it to the rail or stun it up. A little soft sort of stunny draw shot. And so Mal just tidying up this rack, pots the 7, rolls the 9 in, and wins this challenge match by 7 racks to 2. And it's all over. And we'll get this processed and get it uploaded as soon as possible.